Shannon Sharpe go after women whose frontal lobe have yet to develop, and then when they prove to you that they are still children, it's how dare she try to manipulate me? How dare she try to get money from me? Why do you think she was your old ass?
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared.
This lady, her name is Gabriella, talking about, yeah, I want you to put a big black baby in me. Is that what people that date outside their race do? Is that what y'all do? Are y'all into race play? Like, I feel like there's probably in the bedroom doing like slave shit. I mean, I don't feel like that's too far-fetched. She talking about put a big black baby in me.
Welcome back to Juicy Pulse, your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. Remember when Katt Williams sat down on Club Shay Shay and straight up warned Shannon Sharpe that getting involved with white women could end up landing him in serious trouble? He wasn't joking. He was warning him. And now that old clip is blowing up all over again because people are finally connecting the dots. Katt wasn't just speaking facts. He was calling it before it even happened. So here's what's going down now. Shannon is being hit with a massive lawsuit by a white OnlyFans model who's way younger than him. Like, young enough to be his granddaughter. It's being reported that she was just stepping into adulthood when their situation started, way too young to be caught up with someone Shannon's age. And now, she's accusing him of something serious, rape, and is demanding $50 million plus a full-blown trial in court. But wait, it gets even messier. That Club Shay Shay interview where Katt dropped his warning, turns out it was recorded while Shannon was already tangled up with this same woman behind the scenes. People are now going back to rewatch the footage and saying, look at Shannon's face. They're claiming he looked nervous, squirmy even, when Katt started dropping truths about how white women can flip the script and take you down by the weekend. But it gets even uglier from here. It's not just about the fact that this girl was fresh out of high school and white. That's already wild. The lawsuit is claiming Shannon was into some seriously twisted stuff behind closed doors, and one detail that's got folks losing it, he allegedly requested race play. Now, if you don't know what that is, don't expect me to explain it here. Look it up yourself because YouTube's not letting that fly. But let's just say, once people found out what Shannon was allegedly into, all sympathy flew out the window. The age gap alone already had folks raising eyebrows, but adding that kind of extreme role play into the mix? Nah, people are calling it downright disturbing. And get this, according to what's being said, the whole race play thing didn't come from her, it came from him. She was reportedly a paid companion, and Shannon supposedly asked her to act out certain racial fantasies. She agreed at first, but then allegedly flipped the script and claimed what went down wasn't okay. That's when everything started crashing down on Shannon like a wrecking ball. All that legacy, all that image he worked so hard for, boom, shattered, and fans are not feeling sorry for him, not one bit. People are saying he got exactly what he was warned about. Katt tried to tell him, like, how are you pushing 60 and still out here chasing chaos in the streets? Folks are calling it plain reckless. This is what happens when you ignore the warning signs and think you're untouchable. But hold up, we're just getting started. There's way more mess to break down in this whole situation. So here's the deal. If you've been living under a rock, Shannon Sharpe is now staring down a massive $50 million civil lawsuit. It was filed out in Clark County, Nevada, and the woman behind it, an OnlyFans model named Gabriella Zuniga. Yeah, it's that serious. According to the lawsuit, things get real dark, real quick. Gabriella claims Shannon raped her not once, but twice during their short fling. But that's not all. She says he emotionally tore her down, verbally mistreated her, and even filmed and shared their private moments without her permission. And it gets even wilder. She's accusing him of making threats on her life. The two allegedly met at a gym in Los Angeles back in 2023. Shannon was 54. Gabriella, just 19. Now let's talk about that age gap. Because even without the allegations, this is already raising major red flags. Even if things were fully consensual, people are calling it what it is. Straight up predatory behavior. This girl was just 16 during the pandemic. Let that sink in for a second. She's actually younger than Shannon Sharpe's youngest kid. Like seriously, she could damn near be his granddaughter. That alone has folks disgusted and asking what a man pushing 60 is doing, chasing around someone that fresh out of high school. But things get even weirder when you hear what kind of freaky stuff Shannon was allegedly into behind closed doors. So here's the deal. This girl was basically moving like a paid ex-worker. In fact, in a text message Shannon himself released, trying to show the relationship was consensual, Gabriella mentioned asking for $25,000 per cheek. Yeah, you read that right. But that's not even the half of it. Other texts from Gabriella show her saying wild stuff like asking Shannon to put a big black baby in her, and even talking about wanting to put her tongue somewhere. Very specific. You get the picture. It's got people shook. Let's be real. Nobody actually believes this 19-year-old was genuinely into Shannon like that. Most folks are saying she was just playing the part because he wanted her to, especially since this sounds like some extreme race play that he allegedly requested. Now, whether this entire arrangement was fully consensual the whole way through, or whether it spiraled out of control at some point, that's for the courts to sort out. But one thing's for sure, the way it's all looking right now, Shannon is not coming out of this clean at all. Things hit a whole new level of messy when Gabriella's lawyer, Tony Busby, leaked an audio clip, and it's bad. In it, you can actually hear Shannon threatening to choke Gabriella. Now the convo is weird from both sides, like seriously off. It sounds like she's low-key baiting him, trying to get him to say wild stuff about a big black man choking a small white woman. And the craziest part? Shannon sounds like he's actually into it the way they talk back and forth. It feels like some twisted role play going down, but here's the catch. Gabriella might have baited him during one of their usual freaky convos, recorded it, and now she's flipping the script, saying it wasn't consensual. And guess what? That recording is now evidence. But even with all that, Shannon can't blame nobody but himself. Like, imagine being nearly 60, messing around with a 19-year-old and not realizing she might turn the whole thing on you. The lack of control, the lack of judgment, it's wild. And now Shannon's pulling the race card saying Busby only targets rich black men. But let's be real, how you gonna throw out the black man under attack angle when you were the one allegedly into race play in the first place? The internet is not buying it. And peep this, Shannon's now trying to get ahead of the drama by claiming that Tony Busby is planning to drop part of a private recording that plays right into every tired stereotype. Basically, Shannon's admitting he paid a white woman to degrade him in some twisted racial role play, but now he wants folks to feel sorry for him because he's a black man. Come on now, let's not forget, Shannon's been using his platform for years to throw shade at black women. Always had something slick to say. But now that things are blowing up in his face, he's suddenly crying for sympathy? Nah, people aren't buying it. The only ones defending him are a few delusional older dudes who still think a 19-year-old actually wants them for who they are. The rest of the internet, they're calling it what it is, and dragging Shannon for being this reckless at his age. And it's not just fans roasting him either. Katt Williams is back in the mix too. Remember, Katt literally warned Shannon last year on Club Shay Shay. He talked about how scary things can get with white women, and if you rewatch that moment, Shannon's body language says everything. He knew Katt was talking straight to him. And now, the warnings become a reality. What's really blowing people's minds is how fast the tables turned on Shannon. Just a few months ago, he was everywhere, interviewing celebs, trending for his sports takes, sipping his little cognac and acting like the smooth uncle of the internet. But now, his whole image is falling apart in real time, and there's no PR team fast enough to clean this mess up. People are digging through old interviews, screenshots, tweets, everything, and the receipts are nasty. Folks are saying this isn't some random scandal. This is who he's always been behind the scenes, and now it's just out in the open. That polished, suit-wearing persona, that's just a mask, and underneath it, a man with zero discipline who thought clout and money could protect him forever. Even some of his celebrity friends are real quiet right now. The same ones who were riding for him heavy just weeks ago, now they're nowhere to be found. Not a post, not a comment, not a thing. It's looking like even they don't want to be associated with the fallout. At this point, it's not even about guilt or innocence in court. It's about how nasty and embarrassing this whole situation has become. Shannon might have thought he was untouchable, but this scandal just proved otherwise. Now people are starting to ask the real questions. How many more stories like this are out there? Because if Shannon was moving this wild with one girl, who's to say she was the only one? The way this whole situation unfolded has folks convinced this ain't some one-time mistake, it's a pattern. And now the streets are watching closely to see if anyone else comes forward. Some insiders are even whispering that there might be more receipts, DMs, videos, texts, all of it. And if that stuff leaks, it's gonna be a full-blown meltdown for Shannon's image. People already don't trust the nice guy act anymore. That unk label he loves so much, yeah, folks are snatching it back. The worst part? Shannon could have avoided all this. He had money, fame, influence, and still chose to chase clout with someone nearly 4 decades younger. thinking it'd never come back to bite him. Now the same social media that built him up is tearing him down with no mercy. And if more women do speak up, it's a wrap. This won't just be a scandal, it'll be a legacy breaker. Shannon's name will go from sports legend to cautionary tale. People are saying it loud now. You can't play in the gutter and expect to stay clean. And now, the internet is fully eating this up. Every day, there's a new clip, new theory, or wild comment thread picking Shannon apart piece by piece. TikTok detectives are breaking down body language from old interviews, podcast moments, even freeze-framing his reactions when certain topics came up. People are turning this whole saga into a case study on how not to move when you're rich, famous, and pushing 60. It's to the point where even folks who like Shannon are switching sides. They're saying the arrogance finally caught up with him. That behind all the suits and catchphrases was a man who thought he could buy silence, respect, and submission. But not in 2025. Social media doesn't forget, and it definitely doesn't forgive when you play yourself this bad. And let's be real, this isn't even about clout chasing anymore. It's about accountability. Gabriella may have her own motives, but the evidence stacking up against Shannon is too messy to ignore. When your own text messages, videos, and leaked audio are what's taking you down, that's not a setup, that's self-destruction. Fans are calling this a masterclass in what happens when you let ego, money, and unchecked urges run wild. Shannon wanted to live like he was 25 again. Now he's getting a reality check with interest. And let's not forget, this entire situation is dragging more than just Shannon's name through the mud. His brand deals, at risk. His talk show appearances, getting side-eyed. His whole media image as the sharp-talking, well-dressed unk of sports culture, cracked straight down the middle. Companies don't like this kind of heat. And when the headlines are full of lawsuits, race play, and leaked audio threats, you better believe folks start pulling back fast. Behind the scenes, it's looking like damage control mode. Quiet PR moves, silent unfollows. No one's speaking up for him publicly, and that silence, loud. Even his longtime media buddies are dodging questions or changing topics. That tells you everything you need to know. And fans aren't fooled. They're calling it like they see it. Shannon got too comfortable, too cocky, and thought his fame made him untouchable. Now, he's facing the consequences in 4K. And there's no spin strong enough to clean this up. What's wild is how fast things flipped. One minute he's joking with celebs on camera, next minute he's being dragged online like a villain in a Netflix documentary. This isn't just a fall from grace, it's a full-on crash. At this point, all eyes are on what happens next. Court case, public fallout, potential career collapse, it's all in play. And the internet, they're not letting this one slide. Now people are starting to realize this isn't just some celebrity scandal, it's a cultural moment. Shannon's downfall is sparking bigger conversations about fame, power, and how some men in the spotlight move when they think no one's watching. And let's be honest, there's a long history of dudes thinking they're above consequences just because they've got money, muscles, and a microphone. But here's where it hits different, because Shannon was supposed to be the example. A reformed athlete turned media mogul. He talked about discipline, growth, respect, but behind the scenes, he was allegedly chasing 19-year-olds, paying for degrading role play, and threatening them when things went sideways. That's not discipline, that's delusion. And now, the same fans who once praised him for being real are dragging him for being reckless. The same ones who reposted his motivational clips are now cutting him out of highlight reels. It's a full switch up. People are done giving passes. They're tired of the double standards. If someone with this much experience, this much money, and this many chances still fumbles this hard, then sympathy goes out the window. What we're witnessing right now, it's not just one man's reputation burning down. It's a reminder that no matter how polished the image, the truth always finds a way to surface. So, now the question is, what's left for Shannon Sharpe after all this? Because this ain't just about court dates and headlines anymore. It's about legacy. And right now, his legacy is on life support. Years of building respect in the sports world, gaining a second career in media, becoming a household name, all of it is hanging by a thread. Public trust, gone. Brand value, tanked. And his image as the wise, no-nonsense unk that people used to quote every week, that's finished. The truth is, Shannon played a dangerous game, messing with someone way too young, mixing money with power, and allegedly blurring lines that should have never been crossed. And let's not act like the internet forgets. This scandal is now part of his name forever. Every clip, every meme, every exposed message, it's all archived. The jokes will never stop, The commentary will keep coming, and even if he beats the case legally, socially, he's already lost. This situation wasn't just messy, it was avoidable, but ego doesn't listen, and now, Shannon's learning the hard way that being famous doesn't protect you when the receipts come out. Whatever comes next, one thing's for sure, this is a cautionary tale, and Shannon's not the hero in it, he's the warning sign. At the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe's story went from inspiration to cautionary tale in real time. What started as a respected athlete turned media mogul is now unraveling into a messy, uncomfortable scandal that's too big to ignore. And no matter how many followers he's got, no matter how loud his defenders shout, the damage is done. He had the spotlight, the bag, the influence, everything. But instead of moving smart, he played with fire, thinking he could control the flames. Now, he's getting burned publicly, and no amount of smooth talk or suit and tie interviews is saving him from the fallout. This isn't just a bad look, it's a career-defining collapse. Whether the court rules in his favor or not, Shannon's reputation took a hit that money can't fix. And if he thought this would all blow over quietly, the internet's already made sure that won't happen. People don't see him as the polished unk anymore. They see the red flags, the receipts, the mess he made, and the warning signs he ignored. Katt Williams tried to tell him, and now, Shannon is living proof that when you move sloppy in the shadows, the truth will drag you into the light. And it wasn't just Katt sounding the alarm. Monique pulled up to Club Shay Shay not long after Katt's interview went viral, and she dropped her own warning too.